So I do tonight's read on Trump and Dr. Fauci. Very interesting dynamics, and I've got some interesting things coming up in my layout here. Just kind of talk about. There's been, every time Fauci kind of his star rises, Trump kind of seems to get a little threatened. And today, apparently, some things he was saying like nobody likes me. When it came to people talk about Fauci and him and some stuff coming up. But it is true. It seems like when Fauci's star rises, Trump gets threatened. He's the president. He's in a much bigger position than Dr. Fauci, but he still gets intimidated when he gets the attention. And there's an interesting tidbit. I was sitting there about to read. I hadn't got my layout going, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, Fauci really comes across like a Capricorn. And I know the sign very well. That's the Capricorn back there. Because one of the things I notice about him is he's very cautious. He's also a hard worker. He's intelligent and everything, man of science, very practical. But he's very cautious, about reopening the economy and, about the American people and the threat of, the coronavirus. And so I looked him up, and sure enough, he's born on Christmas Eve. He is a Capricorn. And I laughed, and because that is very classic. And another thing about Capricorns is they're not big on the limelight. I have a big group, and I'm starting to go on YouTube and everything. But we have a mantra. The Capricorn has "I use" is our mantra, and so it's all about the work. But we will use the spotlight, for our work if necessary. But we are very reluctant. Just like we prefer to work in the background and do our job in the background than necessarily lead. But if we are thrown into a lead position, we will use that position for the work. That's exactly how I see him. He's a classic Capricorn. He's perfect for the position. Let's get into the read, though, and talk about it. This is what's really interesting. When I look at the dynamics of Dr. Fauci and Trump, I've got the Hierophant, which to me is him. He is a man of knowledge. Now, I know in tarot, it is spiritual knowledge, but the Hierophant can just be knowledge. And he is a man of knowledge. And you could see, it's like an older man, the Hierophant, educating people and talking and so forth. But then we've got the Devil. And this is kind of Trump's card. And I know everybody said, oh, you're talking bad about Trump. But this is what you need to understand, is that the Hierophant and the Devil are very linked in tarot. One is 5 and one is 15. About that 5 phenomena. But they also are positioned kind of similarly. You could say the Devil is kind of the shadow of the Hierophant in some ways. So you could kind of say, there is a certain dynamic between the two. And that is why tarot chose the Devil, and you could kind of see he's a little bit reckless, okay? Going down that one-way street. And not that Trump drinks, but being reckless, where the man of knowledge comes out here and he's trying to calm the masses and educate them, about what is right, what is wrong, and so forth. Where the Devil more says, no rules. There's no rules. Let's just do what we want to do. And that's kind of the dynamic. And we also do have the Two of Cups. Now, this is very interesting. I've got the Devil and the Hierophant to represent Trump and Fauci with the overall dynamic, because that's what I was kind of asking. Let's talk about this. Show me a little bit deeper what's going on. But then I have the Two of Cups, which is normally a friendly type of relationship. It can be soulmates, it can be lovers. It really depends. But it can also be brother and sister, brothers. It can be mom and daughter. It some kind of soulmate connection. But they're normally friendly. So I feel for the most part, Trump and Fauci will be friendly and civil to each other. I feel like, Fauci is an intelligent man, and he knows he will still speak the truth because he's a man of science. He is not going to be bullied into telling lies, because that goes against the grain of what he is about, especially when it comes to being the man of knowledge, the source of knowledge that we need right now. But at the same time, he knows how to get along with Trump. He will play this friendly relationship, and he will still appease him and give him the respect by not trying to be higher, you could say, than Trump. He knows how to play his role. I understand my role is here, and I understand your role is there, Trump, but let's, do this. He knows how to work him. So he's bright. He's bright. And see, this is the reason why the man hasn't got fired yet. I'm telling you, because he probably would have fired him a long time ago. But Fauci knows how to calm the beast, okay? He, for whatever reason, and I feel it's very behind the scenes, but when they have those discussions and talks and everything, he knows how to calm the beast. But at the same time, Fauci is that one that everybody is looking up to. And Trump knows, if he does anything, like fire him, take him, he's had him step out of public view there at times. He has done that. Like all of a sudden, where is he at the press conferences? Everybody wants to talk to Dr. Fauci, and he's not there. But at the same time, he knows not to remove him totally, because that would upset people. So he tolerates him. You could say Trump tolerates him for now. But at the same time, Dr. Fauci, he will go on interviews, and, he's done quite a few interviews because he's very in high demand, and he will state the facts. A big one is the hydroxychloroquine that, he says, yeah, it's not effective. In certain studies, it is not proven. If anything, it could have risks. The side effects are very strong. This is a big sore spot with Trump, because he won't agree with him on that. But that's one thing. So Fauci is, he doesn't back down because science is important to him. He can't do it. It would go against the grain of his nature of being that man of knowledge. He's got to, be on the side of facts and science, where the devil will say whatever you want to hear, okay? He'll say whatever you want to hear. Now, I asked the tarot, how does Trump feel about Fauci? Give me an idea of his feelings. And I drew the hangman. So as you can see in this image, one of the things with the hangman is everything is suspended. And what he fears is that Fauci, with doing all the work and talking to the American people, he sees him as a threat on that. He keeps recommending, maybe we should suspend opening places where the numbers keep going up. Fauci is saying we should scale back and maybe shut some things down. Maybe not totally go all the way down into a quarantine, but just maybe close some of these businesses and let's get to an equilibrium here. So, kind of suspend things like the hangman. And he finds this as a threat, because I feel deep down, Trump knows he's right. He can't be oblivious to these numbers. He can't be. He has to understand some basic math here. It can't be. So, and then we've got the issues, of course, and this has come up in a lot of reads when I'm reading Trump, is the Ten of Pentacles, the economy, the financial stability. This was his talking point years ago. Before, months ago, really. The pandemic's only been so many months, but this was his talking point, was the economy. We got a great economy. Numbers have never been better. Unemployment was so low. Everything was good for, it was doing good. I give him that. But then the pandemic hit and just tore everything apart. So he's so anxious to get back to this. And he's more, the reckless one, wants to get everything open and open and open. But this is kind of concerning, okay? Because we've got this issue with Fauci is the Seven of Swords. Now, Seven of Swords is a betrayer. So see, this is the thing, is Trump still tries to do things to throw him under the bus. And this has got to be frustrating. This has got to be frustrating for Fauci. He's just trying to save lives. He's a man of science. He's about saving lives. That's his job. That's what he is here to do. And he's served under many presidents going back 40 years. But, you know, Trump is always trying to betray him. There is a jealousy there. Okay? There is a jealousy. And that's one of the things of the devil. You know, jealousy is one of those things. But he keeps trying to do little things to try to throw him under the bus. But he knows that if he completely outed him from the circle, if he fired him like he fires everyone else, people will become outraged. He knows it could hurt him. So he doesn't do that. But I do wonder if inevitably that it could happen, that he just gets so frustrated with all the attention that Fauci gets. But I look at that Two of Cups, and Fauci knows how to talk to him. You know, and he kind of, you know, and I feel like he talks to him, he gives him that respect, you're the president, but he still knows how to talk to him like he's a child. And he knows how to feed his ego enough, just enough to not get fired so far, and still be able to get in the spotlight and do some interviews and educate the American people for those who want to hear it. But he knows how to talk to him kind of like a child. It's kind of what he does. But he does try to have that friendly relationship. But then when you go into the, you know, with the American people, we've got a couple sets of people here, you know, and we've got the judgment card. You kind of look, people being reckless, partying, social gatherings. But, you know, the price is high, and that's about what the judgment is about. You know, if we go down that road and we are not going to listen to science. But then there's another part of the American people, and look at the Nine of Coins, Pentacles. So you could see, like, she's taking care of her health. She's educating herself. There's a lot of self-care with the Nine of Coins lady. And see, that's the thing, is there is also American people that just want to be healthy. They are educated. They are not ignorant. And they're trying to be responsible. You know, we've got people who wear masks and people who don't want to wear masks. People who talk about, you know, if we're going to get the economy going, let's all put on a mask, you know, and we'll inevitably get there. And other people are saying, but you're taking away my rights, and there's these sides, unfortunately. But, you know, and you do see the sides go all the way up to the top here with these two. And they go all the way up to the top. You know, he's got one message and he's got one message. And it's a very interesting dynamic at play that's going on. But I see that Two of Cups, and I feel like Fauci, you know, he knows how to talk. He's an older, you know, well, I guess they're both older, but he knows how to talk to him. But ultimately, where are we heading? What's the outcome? And this is how he was kind of feeling sorry for himself. This is Four of Cups. I've been seeing this for Trump, that he's really, you know, as far as the polls and his image and the things that people say about him, when no one's really looking, but when it comes to even him and Fauci, this is how he feels. This guy is stealing my limelight. This guy is stealing my joy. He's the one everybody wants to talk to. When he would have these press briefings, you know, people like Dr. Fauci, you know, they're trying to talk to him. He's jealous of the popularity. But this is how he feels, you know, about what's going on. You know, and then people, you know, that are in his camp, you know, that are like his press secretary, Kaylee, she's something else, boy. She's, you know, she's not a stupid woman. Let me just talk about her just real brief. She's not a stupid woman. Do not think that blonde hair and all that stuff. She's smart. And she is really good, because when he says something silly, she's ready. She's ready to twist it around. Okay, she's smart as a whip. She saves his butt on a daily basis. Every time she gets up there, she's saving him. And yeah, so she but various people in his camp try to make him feel better about himself. Oh no, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job with, you can win. You can, they're trying to reassure him, but he's really down. So Trump is really down about it. But especially the attention, even today, just today, saying, people don't like me, they like him. Even the, when Fauci got to go make the first pitch with the baseball, and he threw it way off base. It was, that's what I would have done if I would have thrown a baseball. He's a man of science. He's not an athlete. But then Trump is talking about he's going to pitch at Yankee Stadium or something, throw out the first pitch, and they're like, we didn't invite him. So it's kind of, it's like he has to do it too. It's like a child. It's like a child that he deals with this. So, but yeah, some very interesting dynamics with these two. And, but yeah, the fact that Fauci still has a job is amazing. Is amazing to me that he has held on this long. So we will see how it plays out. Ooh, I just drew temperance. Now I kind of look at temperance, and this kind of makes me feel a moment of reckoning is going to happen between the two, where something, I feel like it's getting close, where there may be some kind of confrontation. When I kind of look at the temperance and the lady in the middle, who the peacemaker is, not sure exactly who that is, but I have a feeling these two, right now, they're two of cups, right? Fauci knows how to get along, and they'll be civil to each other. They'll be cool, but then you've got this Seven of Swords, this kind of betrayal thing, doing things behind his back and stuff like that. But I have a feeling something's going to come up now that maybe is they're going to have a little animus there. So we'll see, because it's getting tense. That's one of the things, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the reading in, because it is starting to get tense. But even the baseball pitch, when I saw that, I was like, really? You can't even let Dr. Fauci, have his moment with the baseball. You got to try to do it too. It's crazy. It's a very interesting dynamic. It's almost funny to watch. God bless Fauci for trying to educate us and keep us informed, but let's keep an eye on these guys and see how this works. I'm curious if Fauci, I have a feeling he will be able to stay. I am a little concerned. I feel like there's something's going to be said. Looking at that temperance card, it is really about a balance card, but still the imagery, the art, that something may be said here that may set the two really at odds. I mean, they're always kind of at odds, but Fauci is careful. He's careful not to just directly, smash the man. But I feel like some kind of info is going to come up not too far from now that is going to be interesting, and let's look for it.